Okay, gamers and gamettes, what is going on? My name is Keysworn, and some of you may know me as Tenek127 Gaming. And welcome back to another video. And guys, in today's video, I want to talk to y'all about Cyberpunk 2077. However, specifically on the Nintendo Switch 2. If you want to stay up to date on all things Cyberpunk, make sure you're liking today's video, subscribing to the channel if you're new, and let's go ahead and get right on into today's topic. So, just like before when Cyberpunk first released on the last gen consoles, I actually showed you guys some gameplay ahead of time on the Xbox Series S, which was souping the game up and, letting it run a lot better than it did on the Xbox One and PS4. This was before the current gen version had come out. Now the game is out on the Nintendo Switch 2, and I have to say it looks phenomenal. And I'm going to go walk around here a bit, show you guys some of the character models and stuff like that. And I know some of you may be wondering, what are my settings? We can look at, these like reflections on the floor, and, some of this good looking stuff right here in the game, and just, get a nice, good glimpse of, the area just all around. This game looks clean. I'm talking Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 quality on the Nintendo Switch 2. And I can understand why this is coming off controversial, because a lot of people probably can't believe what they're seeing. But I'm going to go ahead and give you guys some of my recommended settings for Cyberpunk 2077 on Switch 2. There's not a lot to go over, so this really isn't going to be a long video at all. These are just some things I recommend for the game graphics-wise. Here are the graphics settings I'm currently using. We have film grain set to off, chromatic aberration set to on, depth of field set to off, lens flare set to on, and motion blur set to off. The reason I have these set up is so that way you get the most out of the environment all around you. Depth of field is going to to blur out some of the environment, make it look unfocused and stuff like that. Chromatic aberration is going to help the lighting look a lot better. Film grain, you already know that makes pictures look like crap. I don't even gotta say anything about motion blur. And lens flare, just adds that realistic tint, to light, sniper scope lenses, scopes on, guns, and different things like that. But we're also going to go into the video settings, and I'm going to show you guys the things I use. I use those settings, and I put the game in performance mode. Now, keep in mind, performance, what it does is it makes the game run at 40 FPS on Nintendo Switch 2. And 40 FPS looks a lot better than 30 FPS. That's the reason you need a 120 Hz TV or monitor to use this setting. If you don't have this, a 120 Hz monitor or TV, you can't use this setting. And it looks absolutely clean. Sure, it's not 60 frames per second, but it really does look this good. We're going to go ahead and walk in here. We can see the character model right here, lighting bouncing off her, and everything like that. Looks just as clean as you would see here on something like PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X. And I know the Switch 2 is comparable to a Series S, but I'm just saying. We're going to walk in here, take a peek at the club scene, so this is a good area, with a bunch of lighting, all kinds of reflections, and character models, people everywhere, and just a lot of wild looking stuff. I thought, this would just be a good place, to show off what the Switch 2 is capable of for this game. But anyway, guys, if y'all like what you see and you like my settings, make sure you give today's video a like, share it with your friends, comment below, let me know what y'all think and how you guys are enjoying the Switch 2 so far. If this video helped you, be sure to smash that like button. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace out. Have a good one.